everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm filming in a little bit of a different location with different lights, so it looks a little bit different than normal. So sorry about that. Anyways, today we're going to talk about how to start a bullet journal. I'm in a lot of different Facebook groups, and the number one question I always see on there is, I bought my journal, now what? And that's completely understandable. Because if you look on Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, it is a huge trend right now, bullet journaling is, and it's a little overwhelming. The spreads are crazy, you feel like you have to be an artist, and that's not how it was originally intended. It's awesome that some people do it like that, but I totally understand where people are coming from when they say, okay, I got my journal, I got my pens, I got my tape, I got everything. I just don't know where to start. So, so today we're going to go over 5 different things to do to start your bullet journal. And this is going to be a majority of a face cam video. I'm not really going to dive into my bullet journal just because mine's kind of already set up, and I don't want to influence you to make a journal based on the way mine looks. I want you to start it based on what you need. So let's get started. Number one, check out bulletjournal.com. This is the original creator's idea of a bullet journal. So I think he probably knows what he's talking about. Ryder Carroll is the originator of the bullet journal. And guess what? He started with a notebook and a pen. That's all he uses. He doesn't use brush pens and watercolors and washi tape and even different colors for that matter. He uses a black pen and a notebook. And I kind of think that's inspiring in some ways because it's just about productivity, rapid logging, and getting things done. And I think that's inspiring. So check out that before you go to Pinterest, before you go to Instagram, even though it's probably too late, because if you're here, that means you've already been to Pinterest and you've already been to Instagram and you're already freaking out. So go there next. Go to bulletjournal.com, watch the video that's on his blog, listen to what he says about it, because it's not supposed to be overwhelming. It's supposed to be a productivity tracker. It's supposed to help you with your day and keep you in line, keep you productive. Number 2, plan out your journal. I wish I would have done this on my first journal, because the first one that I did was super ADD, and it was like I started, I think like literally the 3rd page was a daily. and I didn't have any type of cover page, I didn't have any index, I didn't have anything. And I kind of wish that I would have done a little bit more research and done a little bit more planning. I made it work, but there's a couple of different ways that you can set up your journal, and I've done both of them. So you can do just a simple front to back, and you start on the first page and you work your way through it. That's the journal that I'm doing right now. But the first one that I did, because I kind of messed up and I didn't do any of my collections, I decided to put all of my collections starting on the last page, and then all of my dailies and my weeklies in the front, and I worked towards the middle. So when the pages met in the middle, that was technically when I was done with the journal. And I couldn't really index anything until the very end because I didn't know if I would rip a page out, if pages would end up getting taped together because I didn't like them, so anything like that. So I went in and I indexed everything at the very end. And that works. And I liked the way it looked, but because I was still experimenting on my journal, that's what I did. I didn't know what spreads I wanted. I kind of was still working through a lot of that. Now, when I was finishing up that journal, I kind of knew what I wanted. I made a list of all the things I wanted to keep, all the things I didn't like, some things I wanted to add. And so in the bullet journal that I'm using right now, I'm going kind of front to back. I put the spreads that I wanted in the front before I started my month of August, which is the first month I was in my bullet journal. And I'll probably still come up with some new spreads that I decide, kind of later on into the year that I want to track something new. And So I haven't really decided if I want to put those in the back, kind of like I did in my last journal, or if I just kind of want to put it in the month and then just index it right away. Because in this one, I actually put an index in the very first page. So, number 3, make it work for you. It's your bullet journal. It's not mine. It's not your neighbor's. It's not the people on Facebook or Pinterest. It's your journal. And so if there's a spread that everybody else in the bullet journal universe has, but you don't need it, don't put it in your journal. Just a pro tip, because the bullet journal is supposed to work for you. You're not supposed to work for it. And so if you have a spread that if you're not passionate about it, if you don't care about it, if it's not something you would normally track on a daily or a weekly basis or a monthly basis, then it's pointless to put in your journal, because you're not going to follow through with it. You're not going to do anything. And it's just going to pretty much be a page that you don't use, a page taking up space where you could have other stuff. Bullet journals are not cheap, so don't, well, they can be, but the Leuchtturms are not cheap. So, take advantage of the space that you have and use what actually works for you. In my first bullet journal, I had put in, I don't remember what it was, but it was like a book, like a reading challenge. I don't have time to read. Let's be honest. I would love to have time to read, but I don't. So I don't read 2-3 books every week. I just can't. I'm lucky if I can get through a book in 1 month. So the reading challenge spread that I had, it was just kind of, it started getting depressing, because I'm like, oh, I didn't read today. Oh, darn. So I took that one out. That's not in my journal anymore. And I'm finally kind of getting to that point. And it took me a while to get to the point where I'm like, this is what I need. I don't really care if it's what anybody else needs, because it's mine. Number 4, we're almost done. Number 4, embrace your mistakes. The number one reason that people don't start bullet journaling is because they're afraid they're going to mess up. Guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to mess up. There will always be a page that you think you could have done better, that you think should have looked a different way. There always will be mistakes. I write the wrong day. I mess up my quotes. There's so many different mistakes. I have a whole video just on the mistakes in my journal alone. It's a whole video, not just a little short thing. So, everyone's gonna have mistakes. Just embrace them. It actually, to be honest, I've said this before, mistakes in your bullet journal. Give your journal a little bit of character, a little bit of a story. It's not a cookie cutter planner that you can pick up at a store. It starts out as a blank page. So you're human, I'm human, we're all going to make mistakes. But if you're so terrified of starting because you're afraid that you're gonna make mistakes, you're never gonna start, because you're always gonna have that fear and it's never gonna go away. You're never gonna have the perfect journal. I've seen people that make practice journals, and I just feel like that's a little unnecessary. If that's something you want to do, that's again, it's your journal, so it's up to you. But I feel like that's more than you need, because again, remember earlier when I said that the bullet journal needs to work for you, not the other way around? If you're having to make a spread for your spread, I feel like you're working for your journal. Just a thought. Number 5, last but certainly not least, start your bullet journal. Again, you're gonna make mistakes. Don't be afraid of that. And start. I see a lot of people, okay, so it's the middle of August right now, and I see people in these Facebook groups that are saying, I bought my journal, I'm gonna start it on January 1st. Guys, that is 4.5 months away. 4.5, yeah. It's 4.5 months away. Why would you wait? You can start a new journal on January 1st, but start bullet journaling today. I started my journal. I went back and looked at my very first journal, and I started on May 13th. There is no rhyme or reason as to why I started on May 13th. That is not a special day. That is not, I don't even think it was a Monday, to be perfectly honest. I forget. But there's no rhyme or reason. I picked up a notebook, I got inspiration, and I started it. And I'm really, really glad I did. Guys, my May spread looks horrid. I do not put it on Instagram. I do not put it on YouTube. It's cringeworthy. But guess what? I'm a whole lot better now. 3 months. 3 months. And I'm leaps and bounds above what I was. I was using gel pens, and they did not match. They did not have a color scheme. I didn't have any washi tape. I was just trying to draw, which is bad for me. I can't draw, guys. But if you look at my very first spread and you look at my spread from today, it does not look like the same person, except for the fact that it's kind of still a little bit of the same layout. I still have some of the same ideas, daily goals, all that kind of stuff. But it's completely, you wouldn't think it was the same person that did it. And that was just in 3 months. So January 1st is, like I said, 4.5 months away. Why would you start then when you could start now? Because think about how amazing you're going to be on January 1st. If you want to start a new journal on January 1st, that's fine. Go for it. I probably will. But start journaling today. And that is all I have for you today. So 5 steps. Check out bulletjournal.com. Plan it out. Make the journal work for you. Embrace your mistakes and start journaling today. Anyways, I hope you guys have learned something from this. I hope that I've inspired you to go out and pick up that journal that you bought a couple weeks ago and you were so confused by it and a little overwhelmed. I hope that you start bullet journaling, because it's probably going to change your life. I hope it does. It changed mine. So anyways, comment down below and tell me what your biggest hurdle was. Tell me what that was to starting your bullet journal. And if you haven't started your journal yet, tell me why you haven't, because I want to help you. I want to help you get started. Anyways, subscribe. Next week we're gonna have our super secret sneak peek into the Tombow items that are gonna be on my Instagram giveaway at the end of the month. And YouTube will be the only place that you guys can see that. So anyways, I love you guys. Have an awesome day. Bye.